Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another Sword of CONVALLARIA video, and today we're going to be doing a step-by-step guide for how to reroll in Sword of CONVALLARIA. Now, I've already done a reroll guide in terms of which banners you should focus on, which characters you should focus on. You can go check that out. Like, the theory behind if you should reroll or who you should reroll for is in a different video. This is the technical video where I'm going to show you exactly the process you go through to reroll, and if you want to reroll multiple instances of the game at once to speed up the process, which we all know can be a little troublesome. Now, there's good news and bad news. The good news is guest accounts are indeed a part of the game. We expected that. The bad news is not on the Steam version. There's only guest accounts on the Android version as far as I know. So we're going to be doing this in BlueStacks on my PC. Now, BlueStacks is the emulator I use. I'm not sponsored by them. It's just the one that works best with my computer. You can go find whatever emulator you want, but if you want to do it exactly like I'm doing it, I will link this webpage in the description. Again, not sponsored or anything like that. This is just the one I like. And so if you want to follow me exactly and use the same emulator as me, go to this webpage, download BlueStacks, and go from there. Okay. Or if you want to do it on your phone, you could do this on your phone. Any Android, just need to be on Android. All right, let's keep going. Now, you download BlueStacks, you install it. Then you're going to want to find this thing called the BlueStacks Multi-Instance Manager. You want to right click that and run it as administrator. And that will boot up this. Now, it's going to boot up with the BlueStacks app player. The first thing you're going to want to do is click this create an instance button down here in the bottom left and make as many instances of the game as you want. I made 4, and I'll show you the settings that I used. When I created my instances, I clicked create a fresh instance, and I would use Pi 64-bit. Again, this is just the settings that work best on my computer. You can use whichever one you want. Then I set the rest of it up like this. I use 4 cores on CPU allocation, 8 gigabytes of memory allocation, which really only matters for my main one, and I'll tell you more on that in a minute. For graphics, I use OpenGL, and interface renderer, I just leave it set to auto. This is the part where emulators can get troublesome for people, and depending on your PC, you might need to run DirectX or Vulkan or change this to software OpenGL. You might have to mess with these settings a little bit more, but for me, this is the setup that I use. So I set up 4 instances of BlueStacks, get them ready to go. You need a Gmail account to log into the Play Store for each instance of BlueStacks you set up. So I have my main email address, a second email address, a third email address, and a fourth email address, all set up so that when I boot up these instances, I can log into them. Okay, now here's my main instance. This is the one I'm going to be piloting while I'm doing my rerolls. And you can see I've already downloaded Sword of CONVALLARIA. To do that, I went into the system apps, I went to the Play Store. This is where I had to log in with one of my emails. Then I just searched for Sword of CONVALLARIA up here and it popped up. This is just emulating like it's the Play Store on a phone. I clicked the install button, I installed it, and I did that on every one of my instances. And that is something you will have to do. You will need to actually go download and patch the game on each instance that you run. And so when I set mine up, I actually move my main one up here to the top left, and then I run my other, I'm going to run 3 more. I run them small off to the right over here. But for the sake of this video, let's focus on this main one and the things you need to do. Okay, a couple of tips when you're running multiple instances, and then we'll get to the account creation part. Tip 1. On your main account, the one that you're actually playing on, I don't recommend turning echo mode on. But if your computer is struggling to run more than one instance of this game, you can click this echo mode button, and it's this speedometer looking thing over here on the right. When you turn this on, it will really minimize the impact that the instance of BlueStacks that's running has on your computer. You can set the FPS you want the echo mode to run at. I set mine to 10 or 15, and so this is a great tip for running multiple instances. What I will do is have echo mode off on the instance that I'm clicking on. Then I will turn on this feature right here, sync operations. When you click this, it'll pop up with a list of every other instance of BlueStacks that you have running. Right now, I don't have any other instances running, but I would have, Orange J2, Orange J3, Baby J, all that. I would click on those, and then every time I click anywhere in BlueStacks, it will make that same click in the other instances. And this is how you can run multiple copies of the game at once and play through them. A little bit of a caveat here is if you're going like full speed with just one instance, you can probably get to the point where you can collect your mail and start rolling in about 8 to 9 minutes. There is a little bit of a latency issue, not a latency issue, like you're just gonna have to be a little bit slower if you're cloning instances and using multiple instances to do it, because it just sometimes it takes a minute for that click to go through. It's not a huge delay, but it might speed the reroll process or slow the reroll process down from like a 8 or 9 minute process to a 9 or 10 minute process. But if you're getting multiple shots at rerolling and it only takes a minute longer to get there, in my opinion, that's worth it. Okay, now once you actually log into the game, you're going to say, hey, I'm 16 years old, and this next step is crucial. You're going to download the patch, and it's going to take you to the home screen. When you get to this home screen, you must log in as a guest. Do not log in as a Google account. If you log in as your Google account, it takes days to delete that thing. You have to submit, if you want to reroll and you log in as your Google account, or like you log in on Steam, you have to submit a request to get your account deleted. However, the way to avoid that is you click login and you click this guest login button right here. Boom, guest login. Now it's like, hey, all right, you're a guest and the game's not live right now, but say the game was live. Say I play through Sword of Convallaria on all my instances and I don't get one I want to keep. And now I need to start over. What you do is delete your data. So see this picture up here of a guy with a star next to him? That's your account. You click that, you click delete account. It's going to give you a whole bunch of warnings like, hey, look, if you spent money in this game and you delete your account, you're out of luck. Are you sure you want to do this? You say, yes, I am. I am sure. I've read all this stuff. I'm sure. I literally don't want to play this account. You submit. Now, this is the point where it would send a request to get your account deleted had you tied it to an email, had you made it an official account. But this is a guest account with no order records. Cancellation has been completed for you. And just like that, I am logged out. I can now start the process over, log back in as a guest, and we're off and running. And guys, that's what you're gonna wanna do. So if you're using the instances, like if you're doing this on a PC with an emulator, you might have to find an emulator that works better for you than BlueStacks, or tweak your BlueStacks settings to make it work for your PC. Literally, don't ask me questions about that in the comment section, because I can only tell you what works on my setup, and I showed you those settings. So like, I don't know, but if you're rerolling on Android anyway, you can always just use this guest account feature, just one instance at a time. I do recommend on PC with at least 2 or 3 if you can pull it off. Okay, good luck on your rerolls, guys. I will be streaming mine live as soon as the game is live, and God, hopefully I don't have to reroll like all day. Oh man, when Near Reincarnation came out, I rerolled in that game so long, I literally did. Like, I missed the first day. I did not get credit for playing the game on day 1 because I rerolled the whole time. Sucks. Sucks to start a game a day behind when you played the whole day. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I hope you have a good one. Good luck on your rolls, and I'll see you next time. Peace.